Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And the Knicks, we played a good game. A valiant effort, ladies and gentlemen, but we couldn't pull it out. Too many open three-point shooters in this game, ladies and gentlemen. The Los Angeles Clippers, they came out in that second half ready for the New York Knicks. They were burning it up from the three-point line. That was the game, ladies and gentlemen. That was the game. The New York Knicks lost to the Los Angeles Clippers. It ended up being by double digits. Now, the game was not, well, it was a little bit closer than that, but, you know, in that third quarter when the Clippers went up by double digits, the Knicks fought back. But for the most part, you kind of saw what was happening and what was going on. The Los Angeles Clippers basically said, we've got to take control of this game. Led by Kawhi Leonard, he had 28 points, 4 rebounds. Paul George had 17. Reggie Jackson had 18. Serge Ibaka had 15. Patrick Patterson, he had 13. They also had Marcus Morris with 11. All-around scoring from the Los Angeles Clippers. Lou Williams had 9. Zubac, he had 8. Nice all-around game from the Los Angeles Clippers. You got to give credit where it's due, ladies and gentlemen. But the Knicks played well. They played well. They just didn't play enough defense in that second half to be able to compete with the Los Angeles Clippers. The Knicks were led by Julius Randle with 27 points. He had 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. Emmanuel Quickley had 25 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. RJ Barrett, he had 23 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. That one big steal down the stretch I thought was going to bring the Knicks close and hopefully swing the momentum towards the Knicks' way. He had a nice layup in the lane, a lot of traffic, and it just bounced out. What can you do? Elfrid Payton had 10 points. The only other person in double digits. Mitchell Robinson had 9 points. Reggie Bullock had 8 points. Austin Rivers, 4 points. Obi Toppin had 2 points. Alec Burks had 7 points. And you know, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I was hoping for a little bit more from Alec Burks. But we're not getting that. At least right now. But Emmanuel Quickley, though, he's giving us what we need off the bench. He's giving us exactly what we need off the bench. We needed more, though. We needed more defense, ladies and gentlemen. We needed more defense in this game. And we didn't get the defense that we needed to pull this game out. But hey, that's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. When you play a team like the Los Angeles Clippers, who came into this game 15-5, they've won 9 of their last 10 games, one of the best teams in the NBA. Valiant effort for the Knicks, but they come up short. Let's get to the panel, see what people think about this game. Andy, I'm going to start with you, man. What are your thoughts about this game?
Yes, it looked closer than the actually result is. Probably, that they were getting open 3-point shots and they were making them. And I think they didn't expect, for example, a guy like Patrick Patterson to hit that many amount of threes. That's why he was left open. And let's be honest, they were the best 3-point shooting team coming into this game. I think they're only going to get, higher in the rankings if you can get higher, But
right.
But for real, they were getting open shots. And like I said on the pregame show, I think, we would need to score across the board. And, Rivers, Burks, as you said, we could have we were expecting a little bit more from them. And the Clippers showed us that, the bench matters, and they were scoring all across the board, basically. Everyone almost had double digits from their squad. So, that's why we lost the game, probably.
Their starting 5 were all in double digits, the entire starting 5 unit. Then you had a couple guys off the bench who scored the basketball. Nice even scoring from the Los Angeles Clippers.
Exactly.
And Patrick Patterson, he was 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. The Clippers shot 44.7% from the line. They averaged 41% for the season. Yeah. Divine?
Oh yeah, man, I agree, dude. That's straight 3-point shooting, man. We and even in the first half they scored 65. We did too, but that was a pretty high amount of points to have in the first half, 69 points or something like that. I'm like,
66, I think. I think it was
66,
65 in the first half or something like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. But I think that third quarter blitz hit us too. They scored like 30 something points in the third quarter.
Yep.
That came out in that third quarter and put a bum rush on us. I'm like, but I like the way we competed though. You know, even all the way to the end of the game, we got back down to 108, 105, something like that, and couldn't just get over that. I think that's when RJ missed that layup, I'm assuming. But I like what I seen though. I like the fight. They didn't give up. Big up Julius Randle, all-star for sure. RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley. I just think Alex Burks, I don't know, bro. He's offense. If he ain't got an offense, then he definitely a minus player for us. If his offense ain't scoring, he's a minus player straight across the board. I like what Reggie Bullock was doing. I'm glad to see him back. But we know we got beat by a better team. Our defense just wasn't there. But I take the effort, just like they got us on the 3-point line tonight.
Yeah, Steph.
Shout out to you, Sam, the chat, the panel. The Clippers are a better team than we are, point blank. But I like the way we competed. Randle, RJ, and Quickley showed me a lot. Those guys can score with anybody in this league, the way they was able to score on the Clippers. Randle's game, I don't know if it was just today, it just looked so refined, just the mid-range, the taking it to the basket, the 3-point, he just scored on all three levels. He just looked, he's for real. Listen, I don't know. I don't think our rotations was that bad. These guys can shoot. So if you drive just a little bit and you kick it out, the guy looks wide open because the rotations are on because somebody drove to the basket and they did not miss anything. I think Austin Rivers has to hit that mid-range shot. I can't tell you how many times he got into the lane, passing it out to who? You are right there. And I think in the first half, the reason why we were able to stay with them, because we got contributions from Quickley, Burke, and Bullock. And I remember I was writing my notes. I said, this is the scoring we need. If those guys show up, though, that's the shooting, because they do get open shots, especially Bullock, and hitting it in the first half. But in the second half, they weren't there. And that was the difference, just not getting the support from the other guys. But all in all, I don't think I missed the pregame. I'm not sure how many people expected us to win. But I know when we went through the list of games yesterday, I don't think this was one of the games that we thought we would win. So I'm okay. And it was good to see our RJ, Quick, and Randle against a team like this.
Yeah, definitely. And what you said about Randle is exactly right. He's looking more and more refined, as the games go on. You know what I mean? He's looking more and more under control. You feel confident when he gets the ball that he's going to get a bucket or get a foul or make some kind of a positive play. And the same is for RJ over the past few games, right? I feel confident when he has the ball that something positive is going to come out of it. You know what I mean? He's picking his spots right. He's starting, we were talking maybe after the last game on whether or not he looks hesitant, not because he's hesitant, but because he's trying to find his spots. But he's getting more and more comfortable understanding where his spots are. So he's getting to them easier. It's becoming more natural, and then he's letting it go, And then when he's able to score by getting to his spots, now other shots when he's not on a spot and he has to pull a crazy fadeaway or something like that, it's easier for him to knock it down because he's in rhythm. Right. You know what I mean? And you can see it coming. You can see it happening. And when those two guys, they both showed up today against against Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Both RJ and Julius Randle showed up and played good basketball today. They just got more talent than we have, and they can score at a more efficient level. And I think you're right. Once they get a double team from, you double team Kawhi or Paul George, they swing the ball and it's crisp passes, pow, 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 open shot. And when you have Chris passing that way, it's going to be hard for the defense to catch up and get out there. And there were times when we had some valiant efforts getting out on the three-point shooter, and they still knocked it down. But there were times when they were wide open and nobody was there, right? But, you know, I mean, that's been happening with the Knicks all season long. And with a team like this, they're going to be efficient. They're going to knock it down. We were hoping that maybe they weren't going to be efficient today against us. They were efficient. We were competitive. You know, I can't wait to see him again, though. You know, I can't wait to see him again. Josh, what are your thoughts?
The basketball gods on my side. No. So yeah, it was a really great game. Like I said before, at the beginning of the game or pregame, the Clippers are basically our big brother. They play just the way, just like we want to play, except they're more efficient, and they've been there before. You know what I'm saying? So I think what the Knicks are missing is that dude. I think every time we try to come back into the game, Kawhi Leonard hit a big shot. If the Knicks had someone like that, there's no telling what this team could be right now. I think that's what the Knicks are missing, and I think the Clippers have that, and that's why they won the game, point blank.
I mean. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think Randle was doing a good job tonight, hitting shots. RJ too. You know, even when we got down and we needed them, it was the other players I feel like that didn't do some of the little things that we needed, and that's okay. I'm not mad at them. I'm just saying I think there were some other players that didn't do some of the things that we needed and hit some of the shots that we needed to hit. I think we needed to. There was a run maybe at the top of the fourth quarter. I think it was in the fourth quarter when all the subs were in the game. And I do want people to also, if you get a chance to just look at the game, not once was there a time when either Kawhi Leonard or Paul George wasn't on the floor. One of those guys is always out there on the floor. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at the game and I'm like, I just don't feel confident that you can be out there without one of RJ or Randle on the floor. You know what I'm saying? You got to stagger the minutes so that one of them is always on the floor, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I just think you got to do that, especially when you're playing a team like the Clippers, because they always had a guy that was a pure threat or two pure threats on the floor, Lou Williams and Kawhi, Lou Williams and Paul George. Always two of those guys on the floor. We can do the same thing. You can always have RJ and Randle, RJ and Quickley and Randle, right? You can always have two of those guys on the floor, and I think that's what we need to do. We need to always have two of them out there. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's no doubt RJ and Randle played well. I'm not me saying that statement is not saying that those guys didn't play well at all. They absolutely did, and we need them to. And frankly, in order for us to win, those guys need to be on their games. And you know, we see what RJ Barrett can do. This is what he can do. So anytime RJ Barrett has a game where he does not score well, I'm going to be on his neck, and I don't want to hear anything from anybody because this is the RJ
expected
Barrett.
Every game,
it's not going to be every game.
Well, there's going to be times where RJ Barrett doesn't shoot well, but I'm saying in order for the Knicks to win, RJ Barrett has to be on his game. That's just a fact. He needs to be on his game.
Well, we're gonna lose some games because there's an expectation that he's gonna be up and down. We're just gonna lose those games.
I'm just holding him accountable. And like I said, the Knicks need one more guy. They're missing that one guy, one extra guy with RJ and with Randle that we can be able to take that next step. Because basically the Clippers have that and we don't. We don't have that. That's why the Clippers won this game.
I agree. I mean, they had more than just one. You know, they had a bunch of guys that scored in double digits. You know what I mean? Paul George really wasn't, you know, he played okay. He wasn't super hot. He only had 17, but they had a bunch of guys that were able to score the ball. Reggie Jackson, he was able to, you know, get some good shots. He was 3 for 6 from the 3-point line. The only person that really shot bad from the 3-point line was Paul George and Lou Williams. Paul George and Lou Williams, both those guys didn't shoot well from the 3-point line. Let me come to Kev. See what Kev, you know, has to say about the game. Go ahead, Kev, man. How you feeling?
Oh, Quickley should have played all 48 minutes. I'm just kidding. Nah, it was, you know what, honestly, I was not upset about tonight. They played a good game, and you gotta look who we were playing. We were playing like what the Clippers are what the third team in the whole NBA, third or fourth team in the NBA,
second best record in the NBA,
second best record in the NBA. How could you not be upset with our team? You know, you're upset at the loss, but not with the effort. I mean, we were going toe to toe with them, and I think once they caught the lead, I think that was the icing on the cake for them because we couldn't get back to taking the lead from them. But we went toe to toe with them. Upset at if there was a sore spot, I was upset that a couple of things. I was upset that Burks didn't really, we're not seeing the Burks that we saw before his injury. I mean, when he was lighting it up, he's not really lighting it up like we've seen. And like Stephanie said about Rivers, there were times where Rivers dribbled into the paint just to go back out of the paint and try and set something up. He could have, taken, some baby jumpers or something like that. But overall, I was not upset at all at the effort that we had. One thing I want to ask the panel, we could talk about this later. Do you think I saw Obi getting really frustrated? He seems like he's getting frustrated that he's not getting the ball. Do y'all think he's looking him off? Players looking him off? I want to get everybody's take on that. So.
Well, I'll just say, I'll give you my take. I don't think he's done anything to earn the right to be upset if he doesn't get the basketball.
Okay, right, because it was on Twitter. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
It was on Twitter. That's what the people that
I think he was upset that not upset, but he had a couple of fast breaks that they didn't look his way. And he was wide open, but I don't think he was upset. He probably, he just wanted the ball because he was wide. They could have threw an alley-oop to him, or he was open on a couple of running up and down the floor. They just didn't see him. I don't think he was upset. He just was like, it ain't you want that passion from a player, though. I don't think he was trying to call nobody out.
Yeah. I don't think it's that like that either. They missed me. Austin Rivers, he did it. He did it last game too. He missed Obi on what should have been alley-oop, and I think he missed him today once or twice on a fast break. But if you're talking about getting them the ball in a half court set, saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna post you up so you can score."
I think that's that he wanted to look active, with the hand. Just pass me the ball. But it was like, I'm just gonna show I'm active. He wasn't like just pass me the ball and like you said, I'm gonna score in the paint or whatever. He was only wanting the ball when he was running. And once, like Divine said, he was running in the middle and the ball was behind him. How are you supposed to pass the ball? In the NBA, it's not some kind of pro amateur game, right? So, but he was looking to be active. Let's call it that way.
Yeah. And a few times when he got the ball in the half court set, he didn't even look towards the basket. He had Marcus Morris on him.
Right.
He got the ball. And he was automatically looking to hand it off. He didn't even look towards the basket. So I don't think that he was mad or upset. That's people saying that. You know what I mean?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he's not gonna get that kind of treatment from the team until he proves that he deserves to have the rock in his hand.
Right. And I'll say the last thing, man, IQ, he's starting to be that dude. I know it's only 20 something games, but he is really starting to be that dude. I know people are complaining about his floater that he's too far out when he hits that floater. If that's your move, if that's your go-to move, you go ahead and milk that. I love his activity, his energy. He's starting to be that dude. So that's all I got to say about that.
He's gonna get more and more consistent. He's played 2 really good games in a row. He's gonna get more and more consistent. I still would like to see him get a pull-up jump shot. When he can get to that spot and go straight up and down and pull it. But he'll get there in his career. I'm pretty sure of it. Evergreen, coming to you.
All right, listen. We lost the game when Marcus Morris hit that corner 3 at like the 6 minutes left in the 4th.
Yeah.
That's when the game was over.
And you know what? Can I jump in here, Evergreen? I am going to take some responsibility for that too. I'm gonna take some responsibility for that. Here's why. Right? It was a 6-point game. Okay. The Knicks had climbed back to within 2. The Clippers made a run. It was a 6-point game, and Quickley was out on the perimeter with the ball. I think Marcus Morris was guarding him. He was deep, and I said, pull it. Right? I said, pull it. And then he pulled it, and he missed it, and it came back down, and Marcus Morris hit the corner 3, and it went up 9. And I was thinking to myself, damn, that was a bad shot. And then I said, damn, but I told him to pull it. I said, pull it.
Yeah, for the same reasons, the reasons that you said pull it are the same reasons that I said pull it. There wasn't that much on that play when he was coming down. There wasn't that much ball movement. There was just the screen at the top of the key, and he ended up taking the screen to the right, and then he pulled it because not for nothing, but I said the same exact thing. And then he came down and hit the 3. I want to say like 2 plays after that is where RJ got that steal, and then he clearly got fouled with 3 men in the paint, but he shouldn't have took that. He shouldn't have made that. He got fouled, yes, but he shouldn't have attacked that way. That was an easy pass off on the left-hand side
or something,
on that fast break. That was an easy pass that could have been made, but he got a little bit selfish. However, I'm not mad at this game at all. I'm incredibly impressed with this game. Right, especially to be going against the top 3-point shooting team in the league, one of the best offensive efficiencies, consistently having a superstar on the floor, right? That makes a big difference. When at the end of the day, that boils down to, will you make your shots or not, right?
Yeah.
And we had a couple really good looks that just the ball didn't fall. The fact that I listened to the game because I just drove from New York back home. I listened to half the game and I watched the second half. And as soon as I got in, I'm standing up in my living room screaming at Quickley because he's playing so well.
Yeah.
So, I'm all on board right now for Emmanuel Quickley. He needs more minutes. If you guys are paying attention to Breen and Clyde talking, like every time he scored, they were like, he's only been playing for 10 minutes. He's only been playing for 13 minutes. He's only been playing for 16 minutes, and he's got 16 points. Now he's got 20 points. He's been playing for 20. It's like this guy averages a point a minute. Come on now. I'm not saying he's going to get 48 points.
He's playing 27. He played 27 minutes. He's getting 25 to 30 minutes a game. So I don't know,
Yeah,
he's
right.
And he's not a playmaker either.
Yeah, Evergreen. And when you're talking about Clyde and Breen talking, we also heard Clyde saying that floater is a knuckleball, and that's what I was saying a couple of streams back, that floater is going in. I'm not gonna say, but that's not your prototypical floater that should be going on. But they're not gonna change it now. So
it's being that ball is dropping more consistently than not. So, I think the phrase, if it's broke, don't fix it, is something that applies here. I think he's going to keep that floater in his game for his career. He's going to keep that floater in his game. He's just going to add, as he goes on, he's just going to add, more things to his game. So now when teams start to, big men start to know, okay, he's going to pull that floater, and they learn how to time it. Now he can go to a pull-up. You know what I mean? Right.
Or now he can, fake a pull up and go to the basket and scoop it or something like that. But, that takes time to develop and to get that kind of, to get that kind of a repertoire.
Right. And then also after watching this game, with the way Quickley was easily getting into the paint against 2 perennial superstar guard forwards or whatever you want to call them, it almost led me to believe that maybe he's not on people's scouting report yet. Because if you know that this dude just dropped 20-something the other night, how it should be way harder for him to get into the paint. So I'm still questioning, I'm all on board, but I'm still questioning whether teams are actually respecting him or not. And it's going to take for him, I think it's going to take for him to have another big game for them to say, all right, he did it against it's going to take another big game for him to do that and win, for other teams to say, okay, now we got to do something about him.
But,
are you suggesting that team should double team him?
Well, he was going off of screens really easily. So, as long as those screens keep coming the right way, at this point, when they put Kawhi on him towards the end of the game, it kind of like shut the last couple points on him down. But at some point you're gonna have to if you want to stop that kid, because he's really small, he's really elusive, and he's getting into that paint with ease.
Yeah,
right.
I think what they'll do, and this is where having someone like someone that can shoot a big man that can shoot the mid-range jumper comes into play. They'll start to blitz him on that screen and roll, right? Where he comes off and then they blitz him and he has no choice but to get the ball back to the big man or to move it to somebody else. And that's where Mitchell Robinson's got to develop that mid-range jump shot if he's going to be in there with him, or Taj Gibson if he's out there on the floor, or Nerlens Noel, to be able to knock down that mid-range or go to the basket or whatever, because they'll send both guys to blitz quickly to get the ball out of his hands and then let somebody else make a play out there on the floor. Right.
And I said it a couple episodes ago. The moment Mitchell Robinson shows us even a 10 or 12-foot jumper, it's going to change everything. So I'm just sitting back patiently waiting on that 10, 12-footer, because that quickly, floater is going to come with a lot more ease. RJ's driving to the lane is going to come a lot more ease. Everything on the paint is going to come a lot easier, because, essentially that's the way to not necessarily spread the floor, but at least to keep the big man's eyes away from the guards driving in, because he's got to respect the fact that Mitchell Robinson's got a 12-footer. But again, we just got to wait for that to happen. And I'm telling you, if it happens before the All-Star break, I expect to see big things.
And Clyde alluded to that. He said by the All-Star break, Quickley will be starting. Clyde said he kind of resembled what he went through his rookie year. Young, coming in 8-9 points. Then you get that. He said by the All-Star, it's two things Clyde said that I agree with. He said he's going to be starting, and RJ Barrett will be an All-Star next year. You could break that to the bank.
I didn't know he said by the All-Star game. I thought he said when the game slows down to him. He said because I came in, I was averaging like 9, and then when the game slowed down and I started to learn the nuances, boom, boom, and I thought he said when that happens with Quickly, then he'll be more consistent and he'll be a starter.
I thought he put that in there, but not just to be sure, we had to double check it. But I think he said that though.
Yeah. Let me come to Prince. Prince.
Good looking, man. Shout out to chat. Real quick, I know we've been beating this horse with everybody on the panel, man, for a minute, but I got to give the roses to Julius this game. I think this was definitely a statement, all-star type of showcase game. I really liked Julius' game. Like Steph had said earlier, the way he played, he was just smooth tonight. And kind of stepped up into that, like I said, into that race with the MVPs and the All-Stars, because again, Julius is truly showing a different brand of basketball that none of us truly believed that he could do. RJ was consistent tonight with that 20 points. That was dope. Appreciate it. And then Quickley is showing us that, he definitely is back in his bag. I seen it early. Like I said, I just think that hit pointer is the thing that knocked him off, because I think he would have been doing this, those 3 or 4 games that he kind of was off of his game. We would have been seeing this Quickly back then. So again, sky's the limit for these guys. Burks, Austin Rivers, and those dudes is starting to stink up the joint. I don't know what's up with them. Maybe when Bullock comes back, he can kind of solidify things and push them guys back into the second lineup.
Well, Bullock's was back. Bullock's was back today.
Bullock's was back tonight. Yeah, take that back. So, but anything Burks and Austin Rivers, I don't know what it is with them right now, but they're not playing good basketball, or at least knocking down their shots like they was. And Austin just was terrible, honestly. I think he was trying to, put his thumbprint on the game too much. He just came in trying to do too much, instead of letting the game come to him in that second half. So I think that was his major problem.
I think Austin Rivers does a lot of over dribbling.
Right.
Yeah.
Dribbling so much.
Where I seen that was the one where he had it like in the middle of the shot clock, like 12, 14 seconds. Then he gave the ball up. He got it back, dribbled it out, and then with like 3 seconds left, you throw it to Taj. Like, Taj gonna shoot a 3-pointer. Like, come on, bro, what are you doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the stuff where I'm like, I guess that's that veteran stuff that Tom Thibodeau, he rather veteran out there, but that's what I'm like, if them dudes playing like that, you might as well let some of them other cats get some burn. But, outside of that, the Knicks played a good game. As far as the Knicks as a unit, we did look good in stretches, and then there was a couple of times where, they just out professional, just was just better than us really at our own game. That slow, methodical, knocking down shots, after kind of beating you up or finding the best way to get, the offense in 2-on-1s. And like Sim was saying, just swinging the ball. We just got caught in not bad rotations, but just got caught on the tail end of rotations. And they're too good of shooters to not have a hand up early and, close out. So, on to the next game, man. Not to say it like that, but it's definitely.
Isaiah. And I had to mute you because you keep rubbing the mic up against your beard.
I do. Oh, my bad. Where I am. Oh, my bad.
Nobody wants to hear all that. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. Wait, first of all, I don't know why some of you guys are laughing. You guys are 40 plus, can't grow some beards. So, anyways, what's going on, chat?
What are you talking about?
Because there's a lot of you baby face old dudes in here.
That's me. That's me.
Nah, Devon, I like you. I like you, Devon. Nah, but you know what, Sam? Like I said before, man, we just talking. I'm really not mad about this game, man. This is a top 3 team in the West, literally. You guys are looking to be trying to be NBA champions. Mm-hmm. We held, like, the score doesn't indicate that we really held it down for the most part. There was no defense today, but we left the guys open. I just want to say, man, I'm really proud of RJ, man. I'm really proud of RJ this game, because if there's one game where you would have said he would have had a bad game, it would have been this one. I mean, he's facing literally the 2 best gold standard of perimeter defenders in the league right now, between Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and he held his own. So I'm watching the game. So there was one play where I just couldn't stop smiling. Like, it was the play where he was when he had the mismatch with Zubac, and he was waving people off, and he took them. And I was like, man, I really feel like right now for RJ, this game is really slowing down for him. He's finding his niche, and the scary things is that he's only 20. And I see the game overly slowing down for RJ a lot. People were killing him, a.k.a. Jaws, during the shooting slump. I love you, Jaws. We were killing him, but at the end of the day, the kid was 20. He has to find the shot, and he has to find who he is. He can't even buy a beer yet in America.
What about Kevin Knox?
He's garbage. But we can talk about that later.
We had this discussion before. It kills me when someone calls a player trash or garbage, and
hold on,
they wouldn't be able to do anything. If you went somewhere to a court with Kevin Knox, you'd be like, "Yo, why is this guy so nice?" Calling somebody trash or calling somebody garbage. Okay. Nobody in the NBA is truly garbage, man. These guys made it to the league. Let's be real.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's say he's not. Okay, let me say, in my opinion, he's not NBA material. Let me say that. He's not NBA material. I won't say he's garbage. He's not NBA material.
That's why you sitting on your mom. That's why you sitting on your mom couch, and he in the NBA right now. But he garbage, right? But he's garbage. Come on, man. Stop.
Wait, Prince. Hold on. There's many players that have made to the league that are not NBA material. Don't do that now. Then don't hit me with the.
But anyway, go ahead.
Nah, man. But at the end of the day, look, RJ Barrett played good. Quickley played good. Proud of these guys. Randle played good. So listen, man, we're doing a major step. We can't have open threes like we have today. The pick and roll was killing us, but it happens, man. And Prince, I will come to Detroit, man. I will come to Detroit.
Bruh, I'm just saying, you call this man trash. And like Sim said, you heard the Sim versus John Wallace story. What you think about you versus Kevin Knox? What you think he would do to you? Like,
he's 6'10",
man.
He's 6'10".
So stop. So stop.
I hope he can bust my ass if he's 6'10".
He's also 21 years old. So the same thing you say about RJ Barrett, about him being 20 years old. How about giving Kevin Knox the same amount of courtesy?
We gave Kevin Knox 3 years already, but okay.
No, we gave Kevin Knox 2 years.
What are you talking about? 3 years? How did you give him 3 years? How did you give him 3 years?
Oh, see, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
Answer my question. How did you give him 3 years? This is the third year.
Crazy.
How is it 3 years?
Same one in college and 2 in the
we gave
NBA.
him 3 years. You say that next year, in his 4th year.
Okay,
right,
so,
exactly.
And we're gonna turn this into a Kevin Knox thing. This, please tell me this. I mean, I'm asking somebody serious question. What does Kevin Knox do good beside those corner threes? Tell me, please.
We haven't found out yet. He's only 21 years old. We haven't found out yet.
All right.
Everybody's. Hey, they just talk. They were just talking about Lou Williams and what he did his first few years in the league, right? What did they say? He didn't average anything in his first year. He went to the G League and had to fight his way back up, and now he's well known throughout the league.
Hall of Famer. You can argue. Might as
You know
well.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to throw people away. I'm not saying that Kevin Knox deserved to be in this game, but you don't just throw somebody away. That's what kills me about fans. Why do you have to throw everybody away? Just let them go through their developmental stages throughout their rookie contract, and then you make a decision after that. That's all.
But Sim, here's my thing though with Kevin Knox is just like, oh, I get it, right? I really do, and I don't want the kid to do good. He's 6'10", and he has some shooting ability. I want him to do good. It would be better for the Knicks, but I just don't. I'm gonna be real with you, and you're gonna probably disagree with me. I don't think he loves the game of basketball like he should to be a professional NBA player. This is me.
Have you had a conversation with the kid?
Sim,
Have you had a conversation
he's one
with
of
him?
the hardest working players, though.
Yes.
I don't see it. He's just not good. I don't see it. He's just not.
But he may not have started playing basketball until, later. Like when you think about RJ's been around the game forever. His father played the game. He played in the Canadian
National team.
junior Olympic team. So he's had that type of training. He has a great feel for the game. He's been playing in very competitive environments. I'm not sure what Knox.
Well, to speak to that stuff, Knox first jumped on the AAU circuit at 16 years old. He went to the USA basketball. He played with the USA basketball team. I think at 17, that's when he went to play with Calipari. At 17, the very couple, that next year, then we drafted him at 18. He turned 19 for us.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So again, you talk about a kid who's 20 years old. So like Steph said, when you're talking about, like Sim and Steph just said, you're talking about giving up on a kid who got 5 years of professional basketball experience. So again, you know what I'm saying? Like you got guys with Luka. That dude's been playing basketball since he was 12, professional basketball, 13. So you know what I'm saying? So again, that's 7, 8, 9 years of professional basketball.
I mean,
same thing with RJ.
My thing is this. My big thing is this, right? You got to earn what you want. If he's not earning it, he's not earning it. That doesn't mean you throw him away. That's all I'm saying. If you got to say, hey, Kevin Knox, it's time for you to go to the G League, go play in the G League bubble because we think, you can benefit from it. You do what you got to do to try to develop them. You don't just throw them away and just be like, oh, this guy's just garbage. We're just going to throw him out. And they're not, the Knicks aren't doing that. You know what I'm saying? But fans want to do that with every single player. As soon as they're not producing as well as they want them to produce. And that's why I just get upset. I don't have no problem with criticizing any player because they can all learn and grow and develop, right? But once you just start bashing them just to bash them, then I think that's like craziness. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Oh, he's garbage. He's trash. If you want to say, oh, you know what, someone's not playing well, they're not playing well, but, oh, he's garbage. You know what I mean? You heard what Clyde and them were talking about when they were talking about Elfrid Payton and Quickley and how it's probably helping Elfrid Payton that the fans are not in the arena, right? Because now they don't have to hear if he misses a layup, they don't have to hear we want Quickley, we want Quickley. You know what I'm saying? As fans, I just seen somebody say in the chat that Knicks fans are toxic as hell. He ain't lying. Yeah. He's not lying. Whoever that is, he ain't lying. Go ahead, Evergreen.
Listen, like you said, to be able to criticize the players, like we do it all day, but to say things that are completely unwarranted, like without having any evidence of it too, of a player doesn't love the game. Like, how do you know that?
Exactly.
Did Mike Woodson down to your house and be like, yo, Zaya, just so you know, Kevin Knox don't love the game? Did Tom Thibodeau say, I don't think Kevin Knox loved the game? Did Kevin Knox say, I don't love the game? The hypocrisy of Knick fans that say the craziest stuff without having any information about it at all is just like, it's so preposterous. Like, yes, Kevin Knox has played bad at times. Some games he's done well, but there's absolutely no evidence. I fight against that all the time, especially on the Facebook chats, on Twitter. If anybody's following me, I fight against that all the time. If you don't have no information to make the claim that you're making, you got to keep your mouth shut in that regard, bro.
Evergreen,
I'm
but
sorry,
maybe
Zaya.
he has. Maybe he was speaking with him on Fortnite. Maybe he
Right. You know, yeah.
No, I'd rather play in Fortnite than in the NBA. You never know, bro.
Right. Or maybe
Let Isaiah speak, Sim. Let Isaiah speak.
Yeah, I am. He just got to calm down. You know what I'm saying? All this crazy stuff, just chill out, man. I'm coming to you.
He's doing sign language.
Before you unmute him, before you
calm down.
language.
I just want to know if Isaiah. This is a yes or no question because he's gonna go on a rant and he's gonna say a bunch of other stuff. We just know that's what he does. Isaiah, did you or did you not speak to anybody from the Knicks organization about Kevin Knox not loving the game? Yes or no?
First of all, I talked to James Dolan. So. So here's my thing, right? Here's my thing.
Here it comes.
No, this is not. I promise, this is really not a rant because, bro. For 2.5 years. I won't say 3 years since nobody won't let me say 3.
2 years and a
not three.
quarter. 2 years and a quarter.
It's not 3.
If you really want to be technical, 2 years and a quarter.
Hold on,
2 years
Prince.
Let him get it out. Let him get it out.
But this is the thing. Because a couple of weeks ago, he was like, RJ hasn't even finished his first year. He's still a rookie. He hasn't played 82 games. But Kevin Knox is all the way into the end of 3-year 3.
Right.
So,
He's already
but
done.
go ahead, Isaiah.
But again, right,
Let him go.
I'm
Listen to him
serious.
talk about nothing.
Evergreen, stop it. Listen, first of all, let's stop comparing RJ and Kevin Knox. I don't like when we do this thing where Kevin Knox has been bad, so people want to talk about Kevin Knox first year. I mean, RJ Barrett's first year. 2 different players. One you can see. Sometimes I get that you got to go through the eye test. Sometimes RJ Barrett looked the part. Yeah, he can be the part. Kevin Knox has not. I'm sorry to say, he's 6'10". He doesn't get rebounds. He shoots 2 corner threes a game. He gets 6 points. His defense went from complete utter garbage to slightly okay, and we're patting them on the back. How can we development? How can
Yes.
1 point development? Hold on. How can 1 point we say Frank's not good, but we can't say Kevin Knox not good?
Yeah.
So who's the hypocrite?
I mean, you can say he's not good.
Time out.
I never said
I seen
Frank wasn't good.
Frank.
No.
I seen
Time
Frank
out.
have an elite skill in the NBA. Kevin Knox has not done anything.
Let's keep it. Listen. See, this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. No one said you can't criticize a player. Nobody said that. Everybody up here criticizes a player. Frank Ntilikina has been criticized. Everyone's criticizing a player. What I'm saying is when you just come out, oh, he's just trash. He's just garbage. He don't love the game. That's just baseless.
Yeah.
Criticize the player's game. Criticize, I don't like that he doesn't get rebounds. He needs to get more rebounds. He does not deserve to get minutes. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. It's not about comparing him to RJ or anybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's just about.
But we do that though. Every time somebody says something about Kevin Knox, well, RJ Barrett, he had to shooting something. We was getting the reason why because George be doing that, and that's lazy because you can clearly see RJ Barrett is on a different level than Kevin Knox. You
But
can
what-
clearly
what
see that
I'm-
without
what I'm
even
saying,
looking at it.
Isaiah.
Without even knowing basketball, you could see that.
Isaiah, what I'm saying to you, the reason why I said that about RJ Barrett, because if you're gonna bring up one thing about a player, if you're gonna say RJ Barrett's not even he's still in his rookie year, then you can't just skip another player all the way into a future year.
Exactly.
Right.
So
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Tell me this though, and be completely honest. If Kevin Knox was on a different team, doing the same exact stuff that he's doing right now, would we even think he's good? Would we even think anything about Kevin Knox?
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this from my conversations with people on other teams, right? And I just had a conversation with someone who from the Clippers, somebody from the Chicago Bulls, and they all ask, why they not playing Kevin Knox? That kid can ball.
See, y'all the only ones who think that foolish crap, man.
And,
You know what I'm saying?
and not for nothing,
So-
Isaiah, the guy he's talking about, hopefully that guy decides to come on the show on the Chicago game, because after the MBK chat was over, or after he finished streaming, we sat here for like maybe an hour and a half talking about trade packages we can get for Zach LaVine, and they all involve Kevin Knox.
Yep. I'll take Kevin Knox. I'll take Kevin Knox.
Because the Chicago fans that are aware that other teams are looking at them, they're saying, okay, well, if we are going to shop, which by the way, no one's actually saying Zach LaVine is going to get traded, but they hear the rumors just like we hear the rumors. They know that if we are going to get rid of, if they are going to get rid of Zach LaVine, they want Kevin Knox or a 3 to replace him. Not because he's trash, not because he's still on his rookie contract, but because they see a lot of potential in him.
A lot of it. But Evergreen,
the fact that he might actually love the game.
Evergreen, hold on. Okay, I apologize for saying that. Let me not say, because I don't know Kevin Knox, so I can't say he doesn't love the game. I'm sorry about saying that.
Hey, my guy.
Oh my God, I'm mature. I know when to apologize. I know when I'm wrong about. I know when I'm wrong about a take. I'm not Josh.
Hey,
because he's still talking about that RJ to the bench. No, but so here's my thing though, right?
I never.
You said he's on the bench.
Rocks off, Josh. Let him get his rocks off.
Here's my thing though. It's just he has all this potential. He has a good shooting throw, but the defense is not there. Rebound is not there. What he contributes to the game besides scoring is not there. So again, right, we can talk about the loads of potential. Everybody in the NBA has potential. Everybody. The 15th dude on the bench has potential, but he's not using it. He's not in.
He's only 21, bro.
Bro,
Well, I don't think that has nothing to do with his age, though.
Well, let me say this, John. I mean, people keep saying his age.
Yeah, because he averaged 12 points a game in his rookie year.
He's playing half the minutes. He's playing half the minutes.
But what I'm saying is, we can't make age excuse all the time. He's in the NBA playing. You know what I mean? We can't make it out. You can't use an excuse all the time that he's young. Kevin Knox in his rookie year averaged 14, almost 13 points a game, 6 rebounds. He was 18 years old. I think right now, I just think Kevin Knox is in the slump. That's all to it. Just like RJ was, he's just in the slump. That's all to it.
The thing about his rookie year, when I look at his rookie year, like the team was horrible. No talent at all. Talentless. No talent at all. So he came in and he was able to get, 30 minutes a game or whatever he got. When we got more talent on the team, right? Then he didn't have the same ferocity, right? The same aggression. You know what I mean? And I think some of it has to do with him maturing as a person.
So,
you know what I mean?
No
For him to, hold up. For him maturing as a person, for him to develop that. Everyone has their own timeline of development. And some people need to develop on a basketball court. Some people need to develop as a person, right? As a young man, to grow up and understand what their role is as a person. Like, for example, RJ Barrett. One of the things that people say RJ Barrett needs to do is learn to take over the game, learn to say, I want the basketball. Guess what? That comes with him growing up as a young man. That comes with him becoming more confident in himself to say, yeah, I'm the guy on the floor. Right?
But
and people will point to today. He waved someone out the way so that he could isolate. That comes with him growing, becoming confident in his game. A few games ago, when he was in a slump and he wasn't shooting well, he would not have done that. But he feels confident about himself. He's feeling confident about his game. He recognized a mismatch, and so he waved people out the way. Right? He didn't get it. Passed to Julius Randle. Randle passed it back to him. He went to the basket. Right? That's an emotional growth right there, where he has the confidence to do that. Every player goes through their own developmental stages. And sometimes you got to let them get there.
I agree with you 100%. Before Knox went in the slump, what were we saying at the beginning of the year? Knox is balling. Knox is playing well. It wasn't no negativity about Knox until 4 games ago. It wasn't having to do with his age and nothing. The man was balling. He hit a slump. But nobody was talking about
it's been 4 games, bro. When they went on that West Coast,
hold up. One at a time, guys. Go ahead and finish.
Yeah, real quick. But when at the beginning of the season until he hit the slump, Knox was playing very well. Nobody would talk about his age. He was balling. Against Toronto, he put up 16, 17 a couple of games before that. Then they hit 20. Right now, Kevin Knox is just in a slump, just like RJ was. We're going to have other players that go through it. It's the NBA. Kids go through something. He's a kid. I agree with you with the age, but I don't think we should make that the reason why he's not playing well because he's 20. I don't think we should do that. I just think that, you know what, the young man is in a slump right now, just like RJ was. They'll come out of it. They're young. But to say that the reason why because he's young, he's 20, the reason why I disagree with that.
Well, I think him being 20 is that he has time to grow and develop still.
Right?
And 21 he still has time to, grow as a young man and as a basketball player.
True.
I'm not sure. I mean, right now he's out of the rotation, and I don't think you're going to see him back in the rotation until
somebody gets hurt.
Until somebody gets hurt. He's out of the rotation right now. He played himself out of the rotation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because he's not, he's not bringing it. He played himself out of the rotation, and it's not even due to him missing shots. It's due to, some of the other things, on the floor that he needs to do. So, Isaiah, I agree with you there. I'm just not saying he's garbage just because he's not doing it right now.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm going to say is that us as Knicks fans, we got to support our players, whether they're the lowest person on the team or that number one guy on our team. The one thing and Sim is right. You can criticize a person's game, but they are playing for the New York Knicks. They're wearing the heaviest jersey in the NBA. And for us to keep calling people trash, bash, that's why I defend Frank Ntilikina so much, because not for the criticism, but for the trashing and the bashing that, Knicks fans do. I understand that he wasn't like the number one selection for everybody else, but he's on this team now, so we have to support him. We have to.
That's all we're trying to do.
You can criticize this game all you want. We have criticized this game. I've criticized this game. But when we start bashing and trashing our players, then fans wonder why nobody wants to come here. Because don't think for a second that they don't see videos like this or pay attention to Twitter. They'll say they don't, but they do. And they got feelings just like us. That's all I got to say.
You're right about it, but you totally right about it. And Knox right now has played himself out of the rotation. We'll see if he can fight his way back into the rotation. To be honest with you, it might be tough for him. It might be tough for him because right now you got Austin Rivers, you got Burks, you got those guys ahead of him in the rotation right now, where he was ahead. He was there, and the question was going to be who else falls out. You thought Knox was going to stay in there because he's the only player that has the legitimate size of a 3, at least in that second unit he is. The only guy that has that legitimate size as a 3, now he's played himself out of the rotation, and it's going to be tough to get it back, especially if the Knicks are winning games. It's going to be tough for him to get himself back into that rotation. I wouldn't mind seeing him go to the G League bubble, to be honest with you. Go there, go to the bubble, play some basketball games, play with DSJ. If Frank's not going to be used, I wouldn't mind Frank going down there either. But I do know, you got to have some guys on the bench in the event that somebody gets hurt and they go out. You know what I mean? Prince, go ahead, man.
Hey, man, we can, just move on, man. We've been talking about Knox for a minute, but my thing I just wanted to just throw in there real quick was just the fact that, if we see this same, like Divine said, I think it's a slump. And again, if it is a slump, and if it started in practice or his confidence or whatever, just the reverse is, again, if Burks keeps playing bad like this, if we go to Chicago, Burks shoots bad again, will Tom Thibodeau pull his card and put him to the bench? So that's my thing where I don't know if it's just youth or it's just Tom Thibodeau just like, hey, you still young, I ain't got time for you, and I'm going to play the vets. So again, that's what I want to see. If Burks and Austin Rivers continue to play bad, will he stay out of that loop? Because again, I don't believe I pray that's not the truth of what you think, Sim, is the fact that he's going to stay out of the, rotation till somebody gets hurt. I pray that it's just, positional basketball and whoever is, the hot man and who's playing good. But again, if it is the old man, if it is the old guys, it's the old guys. But if we're, like you said, if we winning, I could see it. But if we losing and them guys are still playing, then, that's a different.
I mean, I just don't see who he replaces in the lineup. And older guys, I think Tom Thibodeau's the type of coach he's going to give veterans a little bit longer leash because he feels and believes that they know how to get themselves out of it. He's going to give them a little bit longer leash. And in my opinion, that's as it should be. You've been in the league a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of a leash to see what goes on. Young guys are going to get the hook a little bit sooner, unless you're someone like a RJ. Then you're going to boom. All right. But I want to switch and talk about Obi, though. All right. Kev, I'm going to come to you. Go ahead and say what you was going to say, but then I want to get to Obi because, how are we going to get Obi into, how are we going to open up Obi's game? That's what I want to know. Go ahead, Kev.
Okay. I think that they need to try and set some more plays for him. And I think once that happens, that his game his productivity will increase more. I do see him making an effort, on the defensive end. But again, I think if they just ran some more plays for him, I think that his productivity will increase. I just want to say one thing. This guy Kevin Middleton says, Cornerstone, you can't make everybody like bum players. That's management's fault for not doing their homework. You can't be that blind to pick Frank over Mitchell and Knox over SGA. That's terrible scouts. Okay, fine. If you want to say that, that's your prerogative. But again, they're on our team. I'm not going to slam them, for their, calling them trash and everything because they are in the NBA right now. So you could think that, Kev, but I'm not gonna throw these guys under the bus. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen.
Nah, I agree with you, Kev. I definitely agree that. All right, if they made a bad choice, whatever it is, now it's up to us as Knicks fans. If you're a Knicks fan, to just support them. You know what I mean? Support them. You can talk about what they need to do to develop and hope that they develop and grow, but don't have to bash them, But anyway, I guess that's neither here nor there. Fans are going to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're going to bash them. If I played in the NBA, I'd be like Kevin Durant. Not even gonna lie. I'd be like KD. I'd be coming back at dudes. I don't care. But anyway, Andy, I'm gonna start with you, man. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna unlock Obi? Because I get more and more concerned as we go on, about what we're doing with Obi. About Obi himself and what he brings to the game, but also how they're using Obi, because I also believe that plays a part in his performance so far. Because I don't think they're playing to his strengths. They're playing to his strengths. I just don't think that they're playing to his strengths.
Yeah, exactly, Sim. I agree totally with you. I think first thing first, we're not playing any plays for Obi. His strongest side is playing the pick and roll. only time we play the pick and roll is from the top with both sides covered, right? So there's no space for Obi to play the pick and roll like Amari was playing, right? Amari was playing the pick and roll basically like from the 45 degrees, and they had the whole side open for the play. Obi's too young from NBA experience standpoint to be able to, throw down go through the middle and get so much space for him to go up for the ball and get the alley-oop or the dunk or whatever. So it's easy for NBA teams to lock the middle of the paint because that's basic coverage. And that's why he doesn't have that kind of, usage rate at this point. Also, the other thing is he's a fast break player, right? We don't do any of that. Sometimes when you see that with the second unit, they're trying to run up the ball, but they basically stop it after the midcourt and set up the offense. So, I think for Obi, the thing is, either he has to make those 3-point shots and become a 3-point threat so he can pump fake and go to the basket, have a couple of dunks, or the only thing I can think about that they gotta have a play for him specially designed with the pick and roll on the side of on the court. That's the only thing that we're going to activate him. If we are trying to play him as a post-up player, that's not going to work because he has the spin move to the baseline, which is a bad play in the NBA. For a player like such young as Obi. We saw Randle, last season doing that stuff, and he was doing it to the middle and, to the side. So that didn't pan out. And I'm not going to lie, if we were taking Obi over Thibs, then that would be Thibs' fault. I think now Thibs is more important to this team. So Obi's got to fall in line and just get the chances that he has to. And of course, if I was a player like Obi and they didn't play for me, only thing that comes into my mind, I'm going to defend, right? And I'm going to go for rebounds no matter what. And just try to get that offensive rebound. And if I get that rebound, you have like more credit to take that shot, even if it's a bad shot, right? Because you got the ball, you have like, maybe I'm going to say wrong, but you have the right to like lose the ball or take that bad shot. Maybe you're going to make it. And if he's going to offensive rebound and get some of those putback dunks or score points off the offensive rebound, that's going to be, something that the coach may, see, okay, he's doing this and this, that we didn't see before. Maybe we, to keep him on the court and use him more, we're going to, run a play for him.
Right. Yeah, I think they need to do that. That's the one thing I haven't seen from Tom Thibodeau. Well, maybe with RJ a little bit. I think I've seen it with RJ some, where he really does focus in and say, we're going to make sure that RJ gets the ball. We're going to make sure that we find something for him. I think he needs to do the same thing for Obi if you want to try to unlock him. And maybe he just doesn't. Maybe in Tom Thibodeau's mind is like, Obi's got to get in where he fits in. I'm not doing anything special for him. But I think if you start to try to unlock, like really focus on unlocking Obi, that can add something to your team that we're not having right now, just a little bit more excitement, a little bit more just, something that, quickly hits threes and makes that floater and it gets you excited. But just imagine if Obi can come down and get 2 big, nasty dunks per game, what that does to push your team forward,
Yeah. Sim, just, we're talking about, getting the coach to get a play for the player, right? So if Thibs is going to use like 2-3 times, he's going to call the play for Obi, right? What's going to happen for the rest of the guys? The same things could be said about, getting a play drawn up for, I don't know, for Frank, for DSJ, for whatever, right? It's not going to be every time, a play run for everyone on the team. Some guys just gotta fall in line, and like I said, get that offensive rebound, get that putback dunk, and sometimes with some time, they're gonna get more respect from the coach, and they're gonna get the play call for them.
Right. Now I get it. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you there. Divine, what do you think, man?
I think he just got to keep battling. But I do think that right now, with him in the second unit, with the second unit that we have, all our playmakers and point guard, they all shoot first players. Burks is a shoot first player. Rivers is a shoot first player. Quickley is a shoot first player. He's not getting set up to do anything because he had to play with the rhythm of the way we play our offense. And I think that almost was the same thing with Kevin Knox. He got a lot of guys. They got guys that are shoot first players. And that's why I think once Quickley finally get that starting point guard, just in my opinion, once he become that starting point guard, and Alfred Payton is in the second unit, now he got somebody who's not a shoot first player, and where we willing to pass the ball to him out the beginning. I'm saying not when the shot clock goes all the way down, then they running around throwing all these screens and patting, then they got to wind up shooting with 4 seconds left. I just think that they got to run, when he was in Dayton, you could catch Obi down in the post, abusing catch, you know what I mean? He's not even getting post plays, so I just think that it's a matter of him getting confident, take his shot. He ain't scared to shoot. He's shooting threes. He's not scared to shoot. I just don't think he's getting the ball at the right place in the right time to show what he really can do, with his skill set. With Obi's skill set, that cat could go in the lane. He can shoot the mid-range. I mean, he got a lot of skills. I just think that we got a lot of shoot-first players who look more to get their point. Austin Rivers looks to get his point first. Alex Burks looked to get his point first. And quickly they look to shoot first. They not facilitators, so there's no facilitators to even give them the ball on a regular basis to run a play for him. To me, that's all I see, basically.
Nah, I agree. That's definitely true. Evergreen?
I think that once the coaching staff realizes that we got to speed up the pace of the game when the second unit comes on the floor, not to say that's going to take away from our defense, because we know part of the reason why our defense is so good is, yes, because Tibbs is a hell of a defensive coach, but part of it is because we're very slow and methodical with the way we, push the pace. So I think, with that second unit, I believe that Thibodeau can experiment with forcing them to push the ball a little bit more. And once they start pushing the ball a little bit more, they have no choice but to, slowly start to acquiesce to the players that are cutting in the lane and getting backdoor screens. And Obi Toppin has yet to show that, because he hasn't been on the floor with the right people, or at least the right mind frame, you know what I mean? So I believe this is a coaching issue. I do not believe this is an Obi Toppin issue. It's almost like we're just trying to turn this guy into a spot up shooter. And granted, he showed flashes when he was at Dayton with shooting, but the moment the coaching staff says, okay, we got to try to figure out something different to add some more offensive threats in our arsenal, and they realize that Obi Toppin is that guy that can get up and down the floor with ease, who doesn't run out of breath. He's, you know what I mean? I think once that happens, that'll be able to change a lot for him. But until then, he's going to continue to sit there and average 4.9 points a game, and he's going to be a spot-up shooter, and he's going to be taken out of the game after 6 minutes and put back in for a couple minutes. You know what I mean? Like, once we open the floor up for Obi Toppin to run, I think things will change.
Yeah, you get you get Alonzo Ball in here to play with him in that unit,
And to add to what Devon was saying,
but
I think
I'll leave that alone for now. But still, you get someone like Alonzo Ball to get in there and play with him. Now I think you see Obi's game get unlocked a little bit, because Ball's gonna push that ball ahead. He's gonna look for him. He knows, he can see. I'm pretty sure he knows what Obi can do in a pick and roll situation on the break. I think that would be a beautiful pairing right there. But that's something for the future, I guess, hopefully.
And not for nothing, Devon, I know you were saying, that Elfrid Payton's that guy that's going to give the ball up. Like, he's actually playing the role of a score first point guard as well. Like, that dude's not really distributing the ball like that. He's looking to score first as well. Maybe it's by craft of by craft of Tom Thibodeau telling him to score, but I don't think putting, Elfrid Payton in that second unit is going to change anything for Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin has got to get out in the floor and run. Elfrid Payton is the primary culprit of the guy that's bringing the ball up slow and methodically. So, unless Tibbs says push the ball will not be pushed, and it will be slow, and Obi will be a spot up power forward shooting guy.
The only thing I'll say to that, I'm sorry, Andy, and I'll let you go, then I'll get to Isaiah. When I have seen Elfrid Payton play with Obi when Julius is not there, right? The floor did open up for Obi a little bit with more lanes for him to get to the rack. You know, we got to see it. We got to see it last game a little bit when it was Elfrid Payton, R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson, I think, and Austin Rivers out there on the floor. You know, and for that, I think it was maybe a 3 or 4 minute stretch that they played. I think Obi got like 3 or 4 shots or something like that. I don't remember. You know, he got a couple shots up. I don't remember what he scored. I think he hit a 3. He might have. I think he scored a layup at the basket, going to the basket. You know, he got the floor. He got the ball in a little bit more space. So, you know, I don't know.
That might have been that Sacramento game, right? That Sacramento game. He had a couple back to the basket plays in the corner. I think I know what game you're talking about. I feel like that was a Sacramento.
I think it was last game.
It was last game.
It was last game when he was out there with those guys.
Yeah, Elfrid Payton is not a shoot first. That's what I mean. He's not a shoot first guy. You know what I mean? That's why he got a better chance with Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton can score, but he's not a shoot first point guard. That's what I'm trying to say. He would get that ball up first before Quickley, because he's not a shoot first point guard. He can score, but he's not a shoot first guy. That's basically what I mean.
Andy, go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. I just wanted to add, you know, that not everything on this team is Alfred's fault. Right. You know, we play small because Tibbs wants us to play slow. It's not like, you know, it's because Elfrid Payton is not fast, right? So,
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
That's the only thing I want to add, you know, because I believe, like Sim said, you know, Alfred, he can pass the ball. And if he would be, you know, asked to run the team, they would run. But I think because of RJ and Julius, we're not going to be a fast-paced team. And that's, you know, a Tibbs decision. And I don't think you can have another decision when 2 of your best players are, you know, basically not fast-paced game players. So
I think what would also help Obi is that second team has to be a bit more organized. Like Devon was saying, right now, it's just if Austin have it, he dribbling around, see if he can get a shot. If Quick have it, he putting people on his hip trying to get in, hit the shot. And right now it's working. But then they don't seem to be running an offense.
Right.
Yeah. So a pick and roll with Obi and Quickley, you know, if Quickley, I would like to see him first of all in a pick and roll to see if he can run it. Maybe he did it a few times. I just don't remember. See if he can run a pick and roll because Obi can roll and he can pop, you know. But just a play or two with that second team, they just seem to be ragged, just running all over the place, putting up shots, and it's working right now. We're getting a lot out of Quickley, but I think the second part of his development is the playmaking, being able to set other people up, to be able to shoot first and be able to get your shots off of other people. So that's the second. So I think, you know, with that second unit, it would help to put in some pick and rolls. I do think there are times when Obi was open on like a fast break and Rivers, a few times, this is more than one time, didn't hit him. I don't know, you know, what that's about. I don't think it was on purpose. Maybe he just missed them or whatever. But that would help him. And the other thing, I forgot who said it. Obi, there's certain things you could do without the ball. Your defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding, playing defense, getting deflections, setting good screens. Those are things that you can do even if your offense is not clicking, especially on the offensive boards, because he's such a live body.
Right.
I agree with everything you said, Steph, even though you went ahead of me. I appreciate you, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. It's all right.
It's actually not okay, or he wouldn't have said it. So, you know.
No. Steph is the only one that I'll let happen. If any of these other suckers would have did it, it would have been over. Maybe Andy, because he has a good smile, but that's it. No. So, you know, here's the big secret, right? Here's the big secret with the Knicks. We don't have a point guard. At the end of the day, right? Like, I forgot who said it best. I think it was Divine. So we all have guys that score. These guys are scoring. They're scoring guards, not point guards. First of all, I'm a gentleman, Kev. Don't ever disrespect me. I don't. Especially my beautiful ebony queens. I don't disrespect my.
No, I dare you had a good take. You were having a good take.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Right? Just go ahead and say what you gotta say.
It's Kev's fault. No. So seriously though, right? So with the Knicks, We just have scoring guards, and right now we got Peyton wanting to score. We got Quickley that's wanting to score, and we just have guys that set up the pick and roll. We don't have guys that are really setting up the team. That's one thing that's been bothering me this year, is that we haven't had a guy set up the team. I mean, we have Randle, but that's not. You need a point guard to run your team. You need a point guard to be the extension of the coach and run this team. Right now, we don't have that. And Stephanie she made a great point about the second unit. I noticed that today with the second unit. I'm not gonna lie, it looks discombobulated. That's a big word right there. See, a big word. They look. Hey, what's up, little man? What's going on? They're looking discombobulated. They're like, to me, the second unit, like you said, it's either Quickley. What's up? It's either Quickley shooting, Quickley shooting, Austin Rivers dribbling, then shooting. They're not setting. Like, I'm not gonna lie to him. This year, I've been getting so mad watching Obi Toppin just become a spot up shooter. He's a power forward. Why is he in the spotting? Like, why is he just becoming a spot up shooter? He's in the corner. I get it. I get that the kid can shoot a little bit, but let's get him going. Let's get him going with the. I wanted today to at least get some offense running through him. Let's get some pick and rolls going. But again, I don't think we have the point guards to really do it. And I know what people are going to say when I'm about to say this. I know what people are going to say, but you have a guy like Frank who does run the pick and. No, everybody's laughing, but listen, he ran a pick and roll with a guy that was 7'3". And it was successful. You know what I'm saying? He ran it with that guy, and it was successful. Frank came on the pick and roll.
Frank's not ready to play right now.
But
he's not ready to play. He's not ready to play. Let's see when he's ready.
But we just need. To me personally, we gotta get. I would really, honestly, if I'm being realistic, I would really love to see RJ run the pick and roll with Obi Toppin.
He was doing it today with Mitch.
I think RJ can do it. Well, I'm saying it to the ability that we can get Obi really going. I think RJ right now is the best person that's actually playing that can get Obi Toppin going with the pick and roll, with the pick and pop.
Isaiah, how you going to do that if RJ Barrett's not coming off the bench?
I like that.
I'm for real.
I'm serious, George. That was a good one.
I'm asking. That's a legitimate question. How are you going to be able to do that unless you start Obi somehow? How are you going to be able to do that if RJ?
You got to stagger the minutes. You got to stagger the minutes.
Stagger the minutes. Now,
so who comes out of the game? Julius Randle?
Well, I mean, like I was saying before, you got to have times when sometimes you play. It's Julius on the floor with those guys, and then RJ on the floor with those guys. The way he has his rotation set up, every once in a while you get RJ out there with Obi and those guys too, especially when Austin Rivers was hurt. But now that Austin Rivers is back, you don't see it as much. One thing that Tom Thibodeau alluded to a couple weeks ago is that he wants to play Elfrid Payton and Quickley together. And I think he alluded to that because of what you were saying, Steph, about that second unit not being able to get set up or running anything, right? I think that Austin Rivers is supposed to be that guy, but he's not.
He's just out here.
You know what I'm saying?
To me, Sim, I feel like I'm not saying he's trying to get his, but I just feel like when I see him play, he's just like I don't want to say he's getting his, but it's just something about that he's just not running the team how we expected him to run the team.
Yeah. He's not that kind of guy that's going to facilitate that way. At least that's what we're learning. He's very dribble heavy, takes a lot of dribbles, pounds the ball. Maybe he will go to doing a Quickley and Elfrid Payton and see how that looks. Maybe Elfrid Payton can help set the team up a little bit more while Quickley just does what he does. You know what I'm saying? He said that now that you got more guys back, hopefully he'll start to mix and match a little bit more and see how things look. That's something that he said he wants to do. So we'll see how it go, going forward. If he begins to mix and match lineups, see what guys can do together. I think he probably needed to get a baseline first. Right? You got to get a baseline first, and then you go from there. So, I got my 2 units. I know I can go to these 2 units. Now let's see if I can mix and match and put some things together. Or maybe he doesn't know yet. Maybe he's still feeling these guys out and learning what he has in all of these guys sooner or later, and this is coming from him, he wants to start to mix and match the lineups and see if he can put guys together that, bring even more production out of the team. So,
hey, Sim, can I say one thing, man, Sim? I know one thing's for certain. Evergreen could not deny that child. That's his twin. I know that. he can't deny that little joker.
Hey Tim, can I piggyback off what you just said real quick? That's why I think Alpha Payton to be awesome with Quickley and Obi. Because Alpha Payton can get through the lane. He can either kick it out to Obi. Not kick it out to Quickley, or he can throw the lob to Obi, or he can even shoot it himself. So that's 3 options he got right there. Either he can go right to the paint, score. He can either lob it to Obi, or he can throw it out to Quickley or shoot it. That's why I would love to see, like you said, with them two playing together, just because of that option right there, because he's not pass first. I think that'd be awesome for the Knicks. So that's 3 options in one: passing, out the kick, the lob, or he going in and get his bucket. 3 options right there. That's pretty awesome.
And that could work. They'd be small, right? Mm-hmm. They'd be kind of small. Peyton is 6'4". Quickly is about 6'3", and little. Yeah, I think he is 6'3", but he's just little. He's just little. Like when you see him Quickley get into the paint, it's like he gets swallowed up. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, he comes out and he's like, "Whoa, what happened?" But I would like to see them two on the floor together and what they can do sometimes. I think we've seen it a couple of times.
Yeah, a few minutes only.
Yeah, a few minutes.
Sam, let me ask you a question. It's obvious that Tibbs has his starting 5 right now of who he's going to go with right now.
Mm-hmm.
How many? Now you just said that he's still feeling some things out. How long would you give Tibbs till he has that that solid, not solid, just scratch that. That knowing of who he wants to go with, knowing that, okay, I'm going to use Quickley with this person. I'm going to use, these lineups. How long do you think it'll take?
I mean, I think
like if we make it to the playoffs, if we do make it, you have to admit that he has to have some sort of understanding of who he's going to use, right?
I mean, I think he knows who his lineups are right now. Right, he has his lineups and he has his 10-man rotation. I think he has that right now. Now I think he's just going to, say, well, let me see what Peyton and Quickley look like together. You know what I'm saying? Or let me see what these two look like. Let me see what Obi and Mitch look like together with whoever on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So now I think he'll start trying to do some things like that when he gets a chance to. He might still want to just see these lineups with the rotations that he has for a little bit while longer, just so he's confident in what they can do, because he's still learning his players as well, right? I mean, you notice Peyton wasn't playing bad today, but guess what? Quickley was playing down the stretch, because now he's understanding what he wants to do and what he needs on the floor, right? And he's going to learn that about all of his players. He's got to see what all these guys can do, and you'll start to understand the rotation, because earlier in the season, it was Peyton that was down the stretch. Now it's like, I think I need Quickley out there down the stretch. So, it takes a little while, and it takes being in battles and playing games and being in these battles to understand how guys react to pressure. You know what I'm saying? Because a guy can be dynamite all game long, and then all of a sudden, when there's a lot of pressure in the fourth quarter, he disappears, and you don't know what they're doing. So you got to understand and learn these guys' personalities, their basketball personality. Not just their personal personality, but their basketball personality and what they do in certain situations. And then you get to understand how you can use players. So it takes a little while.
Okay.
It takes a little while.
Okay.
And it's not easy either. Just speaking as from coaching basketball, it's not easy. Because you have a guy that you think, this guy can really go. You know what I mean? And they're killing it in practice. Like in practice, it's like, this guy's going to be the best player on our team. And then you get in a game, and all of a sudden they like disappear on you. You know what I'm saying? And somebody else who you didn't think was going to be as good steps up and is all of a sudden, the guy who can actually show up in a game. So, it takes a little while to learn. Evergreen, go ahead.
So outside of just thinking about how long it takes the coach to figure out what players are going to be in a lineup, also take into consideration how long it takes the players to understand things without being told. Yep. You got to remember how many players are like brand new to the team. Nerlens Noel's new. Obi Toppin's new. Hell, if you want to say Iggy is new, he hasn't been playing, but he's new. Quickley's new. Burks is new, right? All these players are new players that are, being forced to play with a set of players that they haven't, been on the floor with, and they've only played, a set of preseason, 5 games in a preseason, 10 days in, pre-camp, in camp, and then 20 games. Think about how long it takes for players to learn their own little nuance, body movements and facial expressions and head nods, when to cut and all that stuff. It takes more than just a coach to do that. Yep. So we can't just only expect it to be the coach's responsibility to figure out the lineups, because even after they figure out all the little small nuances with that lineup, when a new guy comes in, because RJ Barrett's tired, that new guy that's coming in now has to acquiesce to the other 4 players on the floor because he's the new guy, and that's just what happens when you make substitutions like that. So it's a little more than just Tom Thibodeau's job to figure it out. It's also the players to figure it out themselves. And quite frankly, if you ask me, with the way we've been playing, I think we're coming along just fine. We're coming along just fine. I anticipated us to have 18 wins this season. All right. And we're already on a hell of a lot faster of a margin than what we were from last season. So,
right.
This is looking good for us. Kev, it's not taking long. It's happening. We're fast tracking right now. We are operating a lot faster than what we were in comparison to last season. So just hold your horses. We right there. Maybe a trade. If you want to make Josh happy, you get one nice trade in, right? And we can make something happen. Look at him smiling. See?
I want to piggyback off what you said, because you're absolutely right. And to go along with what I said to start the show off, the Knicks are one player away. They're just one player away from taking that next step and getting to that upper echelon to be really good. Now, Steph, you said earlier that RJ Barrett's not going to score well every game. Well, the Knicks are not going to play great defense every game. They gave up 126 points today, or 129. So at some point, the Knicks are going to have to start outscoring teams, and they scored 114 points but still lost the game. So my thing,
I agree.
The Knicks just need one more guy to give them 20 points. I've been saying that since the beginning of the season, and this team is way different. I'm talking top 4 in the Eastern Conference, because they play defense so well.
Yeah.
So no, I'm with you. I do. We need another player, but I'm just saying we got to be easy with RJ. To me, he's ahead of schedule, and not get so down on him if he's up and down. I mean, he's playing very consistent right now, but if he stops doing that, I don't know. I just feel that's just part of growth.
Also,
that's just my perspective.
Last time I checked, if you outscore a team, you win a game. And we're, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we're outscoring teams. You know what I mean? We're not really blowing a lot of teams out. We got like what, two.
Well, we give up 103 points per game, right? We only score 101, so we're not outscoring teams.
If we weren't outscoring teams, how would we have 8 wins right now?
No, I'm talking about totality, points per game. Our points per game versus what we give up. So we give up 103 or something like that.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm explaining is that whether we outscore a bunch of teams or not, the fact that in comparison to where we were last season and where we were now, we're light years and eons past.
Oh, we know that. We know that.
That's got to outscore everybody, you know? So we're right where we. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, in that case, we're right where we're ahead of where we need to be. If you ask me, we're way ahead of where we need to be.
Yeah, we are. But hopefully we can find the right formula to take that next step forward, because that, if you can because you look at the Clippers, right? They can shut you down. They got a top 5 defense. They got a top 5 offense. And that's the reason why they're a championship contender. And on nights when their defense, like today, the defense wasn't really, doing what it needed to do, they shot 47% from the three-point line.
Killed us right there.
Yeah, 44.7% from the free throw line. All right, so I'm going to go around and get to everybody. I'm going to come to you in a second, Isaiah. I'm going to go around. I want to start talking about the Chicago matchup, right? Because we go to Chicago. We're going to play 2 games on the road, both in Chicago. So we'll be in our own little mini bubble there in Chicago. What's your outlook for the game? Starting with you, Divine.
I know we can go 2-0. And I'm going to pick 2-0 because I really think that game today, to me, was a statement game for our Knicks organization to see R.J. Barrett and Randle do what they did against the Clippers. And if our defense play their game tomorrow, and Chicago Bulls is not the Clippers, if our defense get back to what they do, we should sweep them jokers, man. Because what I see today for R.J. Barrett and Quickley and the Randle was impressive. You going up against the thoroughest defenders in the league, bro, on the wing, and my man put up 24. And even in the first quarter, RJ had Kawhi Leonard and the kind of and the Kawhi, you ain't gonna do to me. Come out in the second half and bust your butt. But RJ was going mano with my man in the first half. So I'm proud of that. So I think that if we go get back to our defense game and don't let Levine and Kobe White get off that 3-point shot like they did today, I think the Knicks will go 2-0.
Okay. All
win
right.
Tomorrow. I really think they win tomorrow. Yep.
I want to give a shout out to Quindell Berry. You were talking about RJ playing against Kawhi and it's going to be a few years, but soon RJ is going to have this same kind of strength. Remember the move. He said, I'm proud of RJ, but that drive by Kawhi where he held off RJ with his right arm and then dunked it with his right, the strength was different. And RJ pretty soon is going to have that same kind of strength where he can do those type of things too. You know what I mean? He definitely... that was a big time. That was a big time move right there. He just boom, power to the basket and dunked it. But RJ's gonna be able to do that. And the big shout out to Gerardo. I'm not gonna read the rest of what he said, but he said Lakers for life. Okay, cool.
Thanks for the super chat.
Thank you for the
super chat, man. Lakers for life. Kev, I'm coming to you, man. Let's talk about this Chicago matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off Devon. I think we can win both. We can't let Kobe White and Levine, get off and everything. Chicago doesn't have Paul George or Kawhi Leonard. And I don't know who their center is, but I know their center is not it's not what's named from the Clippers. So I think we can, get these two. The other guy I worry about is Markkanen. I don't know what Markkanen is doing this year, but he always, scares me a little bit as well. So I think if we could not shut down those 3, but contain those 3, I think we can win both games and then go from there. Because I think after those 2, I think Portland comes home to us. So that would be a nice revenge game, for us, to look forward to. So yeah, that's how I look. Yeah, I look for them to bounce back. Sometimes I hate back-to-backs like that of us playing home and then having to fly out, that night, for a tomorrow game and everything. Yeah, I always hate games like that, but that's the NBA, so it is what it is.
Right, but at least we get to be there. We play 2 games there. We don't have to move out, play a game and then fly out someplace else. We'll be there. We'll play there for a little while, and then we'll come back home. And our schedule lightens up after tonight's game. The schedule really does lighten up. You know what I'm saying? And if you check out the show we did yesterday. Yesterday's shoot around, we looked at this schedule coming up for the Knicks in the second half or the second quarter of the season. And it's definitely favorable for the Knicks.
All right. Hey, real quick. So, are you on the cusp of saying that Knox is out of the rotation completely
for the foreseeable
unless somebody
future?
else gets hurt?
Yeah, I think he's out of rotation for the foreseeable future. Yep, I think he's out of there. Isaiah?
Hey, what's going on, man? I was the villain today, but it's okay. I take all the smoke.
That's most days, man. Not today. That's most days you're the villain.
Y'all just hate because I'm pretty.
Because you come in with, whatever you come in with.
Besides Steph, I'm the best looking here. Some of y'all just jealous. It's okay. It's all right. Anyways.
That's all we can do is laugh. That's all you can do is laugh, Josh.
Anyways, no, so I'm gonna hate to do expectation, but I do expect the team to go 2-0. I think most likely they probably, if they didn't start leaving now, because I know there's a snowstorm coming. I know there's one out here in Connecticut.
They better leave.
Everybody, please be safe and enjoy shoveling tomorrow. But yeah, they probably leaving now soon or something. But I do expect us to win, man. I expect us to win both these games. These aren't the same old Knicks. I'm not gonna lie to them. I feel like we have to lead the league in like back to backs. I feel like we had like 5 back to backs already, man. It feels like it. Yo, Sim, that's crazy. You know what's crazy though, Sim? That's crazy to me. I don't feel like anybody in the league is doing this except I know it doesn't. I really don't, because you know what's crazy though, Sim? You know what I was thinking about the other day? I'm not joking. I think the Knicks are doing too much of a good job at the COVID protocol, because we don't got no one. Everybody else get to have a week off of back. Everybody else get the week off, and then we gotta go back to back after they come off a week. But I mean, it's whatever though. I mean, shout out to the Knicks, man, for doing the whole COVID. They're doing it the right way. But nobody gives the Knicks props. But no, so the big thing, Sim, I don't want the Kobe White game. I remember last year Kobe White killed us. That Joker had like 37 points. We couldn't guard that dude a lick. Zach LaVine, we just gotta do our best. I hate to do it. I'm expecting 2 big games from RJ, because there's nobody on the Bulls that can guard RJ. Zach LaVine don't play defense, and I don't think they got anybody else that can really handle RJ's strength. Maybe if they put Wendell Carter, but I think RJ can blow by Wendell Carter. So I expect 2 good. I expect 2 good games from RJ. I'm gonna do the draws. I expect them to give us, what he's been doing. This has been one game which I actually been impressed. There's only been one game where he scored 8 points. Everything else he's been doing pretty much. He's having a great sophomore year, man. Overall, he's having a great sophomore year. So I expect 2 big games from him. I think Quickley. That's gonna be an interesting battle. Saying Quickley versus Kobe White. They're kind of the same kind of player right now. They're just scoring guards. I think I'm be real with you. I think West Ham's a little more streaky. Kobe White, but I could be wrong. I don't watch Chicago Bull games, so I don't really know. But it's going to be a good matchup. I think that's going to be a good matchup, Quickley versus Kobe White and RJ versus Zach LaVine. So definitely going to be a lot of guard play. I think Obi can do something. I hope they run some. I hope Tom Thibodeau, Kenny Payne are watching this show, which they are. I know they are. they should be doing some pick and rolls and some pick and rolls with Obi. And let's get these 2 dogs, man. I really do think we can go 2-0 in Chicago.
They can't hear you, Sam.
Oh, my
you're
bad.
muted, Sam.
There we go. Okay, now I'm back. All right, so our first 20 games, right? We were 9-11 in the first 20 games. Our opponent's win percentage was 52% in the first 20 games, right? They were 146 and 131. That the opponents that we played. We played 8 playoff contenders, actually 10 playoff contenders, because 2 of them were playing contenders. So 10 of the 15 teams that we played have a chance to make the playoffs. 13 out of our 20 games were on the road. Right? We had 2 4-game road trips. We played 4 back-to-backs. Twice we played 4 games in 6 nights. Once we played 5 games in 8 nights. Right? That was our first 20 games. Now our next 17 games. And let me there you go. Sorry about that. Our next 17 games, and this included the Clippers game. This included today's game. The win percentage, opponent's win percentage is 45% from the field. 45%. All right, that's 115 and 140. We play five of the 14 teams we play are playoff contenders. Actually 6, because one of them is a play-in contender. We play 10 of the next 17 games at home. We have 1 5-game homestand. We play 5 back-to-backs. We have
that's crazy.
Twice we're gonna play 3 games in 4 nights. Once we'll play 4 games in 6 nights. And then at the end of that stretch, at the end of these 17 games, we're gonna play 7 games in 11 nights. All right, so that's what our schedule looks
crazy,
like.
That is crazy.
But it's a lighter schedule because we play so many games at home. You know, so the games it's a little bit lighter because we don't have to do so much traveling, which is good for the Knicks. You know, like last time we were on a West Coast trip. I mean, we were all over the place traveling. You know, the guys had to be tired.
Sam, hold on, they say you muted on YouTube.
You're late. I think you're pretty late.
Are they saying it again though?
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I'm pretty sure that they can hear me right now.
Hey, man,
I'm just letting you know. So, just again one more time as we're looking at the the Knicks played the Clippers. They lost the game. The Clippers shot 54% from the field, 44% from 3, 85% from the free throw line. The Knicks, they shot well, 48% from the field, 37% from 3, 82% from the free throw line, but they were not able to pull that game out, ladies and gentlemen. So we're hoping that they can go to Chicago, play a little bit different. Josh, I'm coming to you.
So the thing with Chicago is they take a lot of 3-pointers and they hit a lot of 3-pointers. So today, if we have the same issues with leaving guys open behind the 3-point line, we're going to have a lot of trouble with the Bulls. And their best 3-point shooter is Patrick Williams. And, they still have Markkanen. Markkanen is a sniper from out there. He always kills us, just like Kev said. So as long as we can hold those guys down from beyond the 3-point line and defend the bigs stepping out, I think we'll be fine. I think we have, we play good enough defense and we can score, whenever we need to pull the games out. So outside of that, I don't see a problem with us going to Chicago and winning both games.
Both games. I just think it's tough to win both games because, like, if you win the first game, they're going to come back with a little bit more venom and try to get that second game unless you're just so much better than them. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make some adjustments and things like that, and you don't know what kind of adjustments they're going to make, which makes it a good game when you talk about teams in general, preparing for the playoffs, when you play a team back-to-back and you work on making adjustments and stuff like that. I like games like that when you play a team back-to-back. Go ahead, Prince.
We're gonna walk into this game kind of looking at, I wouldn't say looking ourselves in the mirror, but again, just like Josh said, they're kind of similar teams. Their record just doesn't show the consistency. I mean, obviously we being coached by Tom Thibodeau, and I think that's more our pro than anything going into this game. I think Zach probably showcased his talent for his new team, and the first game probably goes to them. I think we win the second game, though. I am kind of worried because, again, there are a couple, I think out of the 11 losses, I seen somebody say in the chat, and I think I had seen that somewhere too, that they've only lost by their losses only came by 4 points or less. So, they're a team that, not getting blown out and not trash. So, again, it's, these 2 games, we're going to have to fight for them. And, again, it would show good resiliency and good Knick basketball. We can get consistent and pull these 2 games out. But I think it's a 1-1 type of split, and then we bring Portland in and see how that game goes.
Okay.
You
All
pissed
right.
Kev. You pissed Kev off. He left. He don't want to hear you say go 1-1. He say why you go undefeated.
Right. Steph, what do you think?
I think most likely 1-1, but I still think there's a good chance we can go 2-0. Actually, I think there's a good chance, and I think if we do, that'll tell us a lot about our consistency, right? I mean, I think it's good. It's kind of not easy, but one of the hardest things to do in this league is to be consistent as a team and as and as individual players. And I think that's what we're aspiring to. I'm also looking forward to seeing Levine. We talk trades a lot, and I'm not that familiar with his game, though I've seen him play, and I know Prince is high on him, and I trust his opinion. So I'm looking forward to seeing Levine. So then when we talk about trades again, I'll be able to give my take. So I'm looking forward to him. 1-1 most likely, but I do think we can go 2-0. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. It would be great. It would be great if we can go 2-0. Right now, what are we? We're 9-12. We go 2-0. We come back 11-12. You know, and then we got a nice homestand. I feel like we can get that Portland game when we come back. I'm not trying to look past Chicago because we got 2, but I really feel like we can get that Portland game when we play them again. And then, you know, the schedule from there, you know, gets a little bit lighter. You know, we do have to play Houston in our upcoming schedule, and Houston, you know, they'll be. I think they're going to be a tough team.
Yeah.
To beat, but schedule gets a lot lighter, and I think we can pull off some wins. You know, we talked about it on the shoot around the other day. You know, maybe, you know, it's possible that the Knicks could pull off enough wins where they go into the All-Star break above 500, maybe a game above 500 or something like that. So, you know, that'd be nice. That'd feel good. That'd feel good to go into a All-Star break above 500, man.
500, even if you go for 18-18.
You know, so you know, it's looking good for the Knicks, man. We took a loss today, but you know, we'll be all right.
I mean,
it was a
Sim,
good
you know
loss.
what's crazy, man? Just think about it, man. Last year around this time, we had 4 wins.
Right.
We were 4-17 or 4-16.
Right.
We were pissed off every chat. Mark wasn't here. Mark was in Queens walking around. It was
right.
No, but it was. But Sim, you know what, man? I'll say this though, man. Sis, listen, I know we're gonna keep harping on it, but listen, if you ask all the Knicks fans to get the season, if you think we'll be here and the team that we beat, you wouldn't believe it. So, you know, listen, right, again, right, and I'm always going to harp on this during this season, is that we want to remain, of course, I want to be in the playoff picture. I want to be the top 8 seed. But again, if we just remain and stay in this top 10 and have a chance to actually make the playoffs with this, because we're going to, regardless if we're the 8th seed or 7th seed, we're going to have to play in the play-in tournament either way. We're going to have to play it either way. So as long as we stay in that top 10, man, I'm happy, Sim. As long as we're in that top 10, we have a chance to actually do it. We're good, man. Like I said, we're playing defense. The kids that we want to see do good, they're doing good. You know, RJ's second season, the kid's averaging 20 points, man, or close to darn near 20 points and doing what he got to do. These kids are coming, man. These kids is what, 20, 21? Yeah. We good, man. We good, man.
Could you guys imagine? Could you guys imagine if we were like in that play-in? So we were like, we were a 9th or 10th seed. We were in the play-in. We played ourselves into the playoffs because we won the play-in tournament. But then we were still in the lotto, in the lottery, right? Yeah. And then we got a high pick because we were still in the lottery. Can you imagine how that would be?
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Dallas high pick.
And then you still had Dallas's high pick. That'd be crazy.
They got the 5th pick now.
Dallas Devon. Dallas right now, they're playing horrible. They're in the top 10 right now. So wouldn't it be amazing if the Knicks make the playoffs and Dallas doesn't?
I think it's gonna happen. I don't think Dallas getting in. I don't think they can.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they getting in.
Nah. Let me say this: Luka's too good for them. I think Luka is too good already. to let them fall behind.
He just won though.
Yeah, they got an offense team. They you know what? That's the private under Rick Carlisle. That's an offense scoring team. Their defense is slouch. Tim Hardaway don't play D. Luka don't play D.
Hey, Devon. Listen, what happened to? Hold on, I don't want to call people out. What happened to people complaining about the Knicks when they traded a certain you know who? And man, our defense and our and he's a 7-footer that can do everything. He blocks shots and he defends and he shores. Well, I don't see nobody talking about.
I'm not going to play devil's advocate. I still think we lost the trade, but I mean, I'm not going to go there.
We're not going to.
We can do a whole show. We can do a whole show on that. Right now, the Dallas Mavericks are 8-12 on the season,
and I'm happy.
And we'll see if they could. They've lost 5 in a row, and we'll see if they continue to lose. Yeah. We'll see if they continue to lose, man. No.
Somebody's saying that pick is protected. It's not, right?
No. Okay. That's the second
That's
pick.
the other pick. The other pick is protected. This year's is not protected.
So that was a good move by
coming out too. It's a nice cat coming up.
But anyway, I am going to head out of here for tonight.
Yeah, me too,
ladies and gentlemen.
Get some food.
Go get
good
something to eat.
Show.
You know, watch Brooklyn and Washington score 1,000 points tonight. You know, because
hey, George, I want to call you out on that, George. You want to Russell Westbrook? Look at that joker right now.
I still do. Imagine if the Knicks had 18, 10, and 10 from the point guard position. Oh wow, yeah, yeah.
We can get into that. Tomorrow we're gonna do the shoot around. When I do the shoot around tomorrow, Divine, I'm gonna do it at 12:30 normal time, but I'm gonna add the game preview in with it. It's gonna be both on one.
Cool.
Yeah, instead of doing two different shows.
Please be safe, everybody. Tonight it's a snowstorm. Please be safe if you're around the New York, Connecticut area. Please be safe.
We'll do.
I'm gonna say it ain't snowing in Charlotte.
Right, Prince, you gonna give us a Westchester update tomorrow on the shoot around?
Yeah, I can have that because we got our first game on the 10th. But yeah, I'll do some research and get us some info for tomorrow.
Yeah, let's get it.
Is DSJ gonna be in that game?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think so.
I just wanted to, I didn't get a chance to say nothing, man, but I'm so proud of him, yo. That was one of the most maturest things a kid his age can do. And I wish a lot of NBA players had the courage and self-awareness to do what he did. Listen, regardless of how I feel about DSJ, that was big of him, man. I'm proud of him for that.
It was.
And I hope he does good in the G League. Seriously, man.
Well, and with that, I think
good enough to help us.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering. Did he do that for himself so that he can, that the Knicks could potentially trade him after the stint, or was he doing that more just so he could, get good graces with Tom Thibodeau?
I mean, probably both. Probably both. And I mean, but I'll be honest with you. If he did it for himself to boost his career, I'm not mad at him.
Right. It's a business.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And you show teams like, hey, I'm willing to climb from the bottom and bring myself back up. You know what I mean? He's still got a career. He's still got a career. He's still got to try to make himself relevant in his league. So. Yeah,
I think he go down there and work out. Well, I mean, he better. He better go down there and work out.
He don't got no choice.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna shock the world down there. They're gonna go down there and
it seemed like he was John Morant before John Morant was John Morant in a sense, his style. I thought Dennis Jr. was John Morant before John Morant was John Morant in the way they play. If that boy was in Memphis running up and down the court with them cats, Dennis Smith Jr. would be the real deal, bro.
And that's the issue with DSJ. He got to play like Quickley.
Yeah.
When you come in, shoot first. He trying to play the point guard because this is what Tibbs want and pass and be a playmaker. That's not his game.
Mm-hmm.
You got to come in and ball.
Westchester might have the best guard play in the G League.
Oh, yeah, we got some killers.
They still got Lamar Peters.
I was about to say, they got Lamar Peters?
Nah, Lamar Peters.
They didn't bring Lamar. They brought Miles. They got
Jared Harper.
Yo, I hope that kid. I hope Miles Powell do good.
The one King guy who played in the last preseason game for us.
Yeah,
they got a couple other guys, and then then we got Scal, we got the big fella Justin Patton, who I'm raving about. I can't wait till he gets a chance. That's why, I know we playing with this veteran lineup, but again, once Godfather Leon pull that trigger and we get some of these trades out of here, I think we'll really see what this Knicks team really will look like. But I believe the identity and foundation is being laid right now.
Yeah.
They play tomorrow too?
Yes.
Who?
The
They
Knicks
do.
or Westchester?
No, Westchester.
No, I thought
No, we don't play to the 10th. They
10th.
start.
Okay.
the 10th. Yep.
I thought
Yeah.
they played tomorrow because I seen Miles Perry talk about playing tomorrow.
Nah, they don't play till their bubble starts.
They might
in
get in
February.
practice, maybe practicing.
Yeah, they might
but
be practicing or
yeah,
something.
they probably
Okay.
starting. I would
Hey, I
think they
don't know if I'm late to the party. Did y'all guys see Cutthroat City?
Nah, I didn't see it yet.
Oh man, you got.
That's a movie?
It's a movie.
It's
The
on
Riddler produced
Netflix.
it. Yeah, it's about
Oh yeah, I did see that
Katrina.
movie.
About Katrina after Katrina.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
Super
y'all gotta
good.
watch that movie. That's a good
I still got.
City.
Hey, Divine, yeah, the ending killed. The ending was cold.
It was.
I ain't
not
even
gonna
gonna
lie.
spoil it for people, but
Yeah.
I still gotta watch that One Night in Miami. I gotta watch
Yeah,
that.
you need to watch that. Yeah.
Pretty
But
good.
Get real serious.
we
I
out
gotta
of here,
watch that.
ladies
All
and
right.
gentlemen. Make
Yes,
sure you check us
sir.
out tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. as we do the shoot around. We're going to talk Westchester Knicks. We're going to talk Knicks Bulls and anything else that comes out. So make sure you join us. Peace, ladies and gentlemen. Spread love, ladies and gentlemen. Spread love.